Hey, everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're in my corner, and I have a very special guest in the corner who we've seen on camera for a total of two times, but it's the first time we've had them on the radio. Would you like to unveil your secret identity to the masses?
My name is Marianne Miller. I have an X and a Y chromosome, right? That's what chromosomes we have. And I have three cats and a voice acting career.
Yay! So let's talk about the cats. Um, well,
Professionalism.
it's the internet, so, cats and the internet kind of go hand in hand.
Hmm.
I'm just saying. It's okay. My cat was bugging me before the interview. She's all upset because she's 11 years old and we took her to the vet for the first time and she had to
Uh,
get shaved and she's not happy. So she has a lion cut.
oh no.
So it's almost like my cat is embarrassed to be around people. It is so surreal.
Well, you should take pictures and embarrass her on the internet even more. That's what you're supposed to do.
I've tried a little bit. She doesn't know yet. But I think she's gonna catch on to me if I try too much.
Well, I think you have the advantage because cats don't actually know how to use computers.
But they
Despite
sit on them all the time.
That's true, but computers are actually not made for sitting on.
True. They're also not made for chasing the mouse cursor, but
Yeah, yeah.
they do it anyway.
I mean, who are we to dispute how they spend their money on computers?
Exactly. Maybe they should spend their money on thumbs.
Or actual live mice.
I don't want mice in my house.
Oh, be a bad idea.
You have a horrible idea. Let's just stick with the random like ant now and then. That's
Yeah.
fine. But now, we've gotten a chance to talk to you quite a few times, but usually it's in a group, so we've never had a chance to focus solely on you. And a lot of our listeners actually have no idea how you initially got into voice acting.
Well, it's a funny story. Ow. Sorry, my cat's biting me. Yeah, well, I wanted to be an actor since I was like 10. I just decided one day. And I watched the Patch Adams DVD. It was one of the first DVDs I ever had, and I saw like the behind the scenes look at Robin Williams, like with a part where he was in the pool of spaghetti with the old lady, and I was like, "Holy crap! I need to do that, and I need to get paid. Oh, it's gonna be the best job ever." And then, so yeah, I started auditioning for like on camera stuff, theater stuff, but I was like a 6 foot tall, 14-year-old girl, and nobody actually knew what age I was, which is not a great thing when you're a kid. So I didn't have a very productive film career. It died very early out on, and when I got to be about 16, I started watching anime. And then I started bugging people on how to get into it, and I started talking to like Mike McFarland and a bunch of the Full Metal Alchemist cast, and I ended up being in Dallas around when they were recording the movie, and I got my first part in the movie, and I had one line, and it was "There it is, the carnival," and ever since then, my life has been ruined because now I'm an actor.
Ruin, that sounds like a horrible story.
Yes,
Is
and
there
they lived unhappily ever after.
that doesn't seem very awesome. That seems like a sort of like a Johnny Depp film with Tim Burton.
Johnny Depp with Tim Burton. Yeah, overdone and repetitive.
I it's interesting though to hear a little bit about trying to act as a child because I always seem to hear that they always want like children who can either play younger or older roles.
Hmm.
So I can understand why that might have been hard considering your height at the age.
Yeah, yeah, I was just a really weird looking kid. I mean, everyone's a weird looking kid, but I was especially weird looking because I had a really young face, but I was really tall. So, and I mean, there are no actors that are like 6 feet tall. There's like Gina Davis, Lucy Lawless, like a few people that work every once in a while and people really like, but I want to work more than once in a while.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I feel like a shorty now. Like in fifth grade, because 5'5" to me was big in fifth grade. Like I
Hmm.
I was 5'5" then, and then I just stopped growing,
Yeah.
and I
Oh
don't know
man.
why.
Uh,
I used
see,
to be
I
a small
I
kid.
like being tall now because I can intimidate people if they want to try and, rip me off. It's great for business because I'm just like, I'm sorry, you want to pay me how much? And then, everyone's usually about 5'7", so they end up crying a little bit.
Always a plus. And I think, and if I remember correctly, I think you have a tattoo or two to back it up.
Yes, I have a robot arm, so I can punch really hard.
I just know about I think the Assassin's Creed one on
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I have an Assassin's Creed one behind my left ear, and I have a Fies tattoo from Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles on my right shin.
very
So
awesome.
yeah,
And also I'm assuming that the intimidating thing comes into play when people are trying to glomp you or touch you inappropriately at conventions.
yeah, just go hell no.
Yep.
Only with a few more expletives, but
Well, now we got a chance to talk to a few people who have been on this awesome project that officially just got funded that you're also a part of.
Fireball.
Yes. And now, can you explain your role in this very awesome looking game?
Well, there are three main characters in it, as far as I know. There is Esme, Braxton, and Bliss. And Esme's the lead, and Braxton is like her little navigator slash sidekick slash voice in her ear, her autocon, if you will. And that's who I play. So basically, I just nag her from a little headset, going like, "What are you doing, you stupid? Oh!"
Well, hopefully you don't have such a bad love life as Anacon did.
Yeah, no kidding. My mom. That chick died. I'm so happy when she died, though. Holy crap. I
Which
hate that.
one?
What was it? It was Naomi, right? It was just like this
Yeah, it
really,
was it was his mom, and then it was
oh.
Emma, and then it was Naomi.
Oh, yeah. Well, Emma's not his love life, you pervert.
Whoa,
That,
whoa, whoa, whoa! The backstory for that made it sound like it was suggesting something.
that's a sister.
I know it's messed up.
Ugh.
I'm not disagreeing that it's messed up, but
No, I was celebrating when Naomi died because that whole love story was just so contrived. It was so ridiculous.
it was really weird. I do have to give the Emma part props because that was the first time I cried at a video game was Metal Gear Solid 2. I cried like a baby.
You silly person.
Sorry.
You poop.
Well, I cried like 8 times in Metal Gear Solid 4. It was horrible. Metal Gear makes me cry all the time.
Really? Oh, I
Yes.
was crying because I was so bored.
I just there were so many moments that I couldn't help it. I think because I've been playing the game for so long that like I cried when spoiler alert by the way. I cried
Like it matters.
yeah, like it matters at this point. I cried when Snake finally technically got to meet his mom and then she died in his arms and I was just like, "Oh,
That was all kinds of messed up.
yeah, I can't get
That was
over."
like the wait, was that the no. I'm mixing it up. Not like the dead like the weird burned up body, right?
No, the weird burned up body was like a
That was one of the like
that
not the
was
dark but
Solidus.
yeah, yeah.
And Ava is technically like his mom, like genetically,
Oh,
and
right.
she died in his arms, and I was
Yes.
like, because they just met, so I was like, oh my God, connection, and then it was gone.
I never knew my son. Bleh.
It was horrible. But anyway,
Sorry for
back
your
to
loss.
back to the game. I gotta say congratulations because you guys not only got funded, you got the highest stretch goal, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Well, we even got a little bit farther than that too. That was the coolest part.
So,
It's just like surged on the last day. We got like 50,000 extra dollars. It was really cool.
well, it seemed like it had such a lot of great support, especially on social media. Like I felt like everywhere in the last week of the Kickstarter, I couldn't go to Facebook or Twitter without seeing it. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I think one of the things that really pushed it was like the fact that it has such a bold anime style to it, which you don't really see a whole lot. I mean, you see the anime-ish kind of stylings, like, you have the Teen Titans, you have Avatar and all that other stuff. But I don't know, when I see those kind of shows and everything, the colors just don't seem as bright as they are in anime, and the style is always a little bit off. Like you can tell it's inspired by, but a lot of things that the thing that anime fans really love about anime is how distinct and angular and bright the shows are and unique looking, which I think
Definitely.
I think was a really a plus for Cryomore.
And I think you have a lot of journalists nowadays, especially game journalists, who keep throwing out the idea that, anime style or Japanese RPGs are not the way to go. They haven't changed and so on and so forth. But
Yeah.
there's still a huge audience out there for them.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm actually turning into one of those game journalists. But yeah, no, I think Cryomore it's bringing back a lot of like the old innovation that was present in a lot of well, they're basing it off of like Zelda and Metroid and all those. Was Metroid Japanese? Yeah, right. It's Nintendo, of course it is.
I thought they were basing it off of like Wild Arms and things like that.
No, no, they have like a list of stuff that they were basing it off of, but and they're all like classic NES games. And so I mean, it's hopefully they'll be bringing back a lot of like, the hack and slash stuff that we don't really see in a lot of, popular Japanese games nowadays.
Yeah, very true. I mean, like it's interesting to see people's reactions
Mm,
to Japanese games nowadays. Like I rose a fit when everybody was like, Nino Kuni is amazing and it's a good game, it's a great game,
mm.
but it's a typical Japanese RPG. It's the things that people have been complaining about. So I didn't understand why people were like, it's amazing, oh my God.
'Cause
But
it's Miyazaki.
and maybe it's just you see so few Miyazaki scenes that you almost tend to forget, or you almost have to wait like every 10, 20 hours to see like a 50-second scene.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel like I had to wait 10 or 20 hours to see anything interesting in Miyazaki's movies in general. So I have a very unpopular opinion when it comes to that.
Well, fair enough. I mean, some people, don't like certain Ghibli films.
Mm.
My favorite is one that most people have never heard of, and at the same time, I'm really not a fan of Porco Rosso, and a lot of people dislike the fact that I say that. So
Yeah, I think my favorite's Howl's Moving Castle, but nobody liked that movie. It makes me sad. It was so
I
cute.
do. I like
Well,
that movie
thank
a
you.
lot.
Let's
That
watch it.
Yes, we should. We should just riff track it live on air.
Yeah, yeah. Who needs to do anything later today? Not me.
Exactly. But Howl's Moving Castle and the two, like my favorite is Whisper of the Heart, and I also like its spiritual sequel, The Cat Returns, and nobody's ever seen those.
I like The Cat Returns.
Oh, yay, thank you.
It was a cute movie. And Carrie always was like, "Hello, I'm a cat."
Oh, he sounds so awesome in the film.
Yeah. And
But
Anne Hathaway was in that too, right?
yeah, she was the main character.
Uh, that
Haru,
chick.
I think.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I remember. But no, for the fans who want to check out Cryomore, obviously they can't donate anymore since the Kickstarter is over. Are there any places on the internet they can stock it?
Well, there's the Crymore development blog, which I believe is just crymore.tumblr.com. And there's also the Crymore Twitter, which is just at Crymore, and it features updates from Esme, and she links to the Crymore development blog quite frequently, and they show concept art and updates on the demo that's coming out soon, and all sorts of fun stuff. Oh, and fan art, obviously, from other developers, which is cool.
Oh, that's very neat. So, the fans, we're going to take a short break and you can go check that out, but we'll be back with our special guest in a few minutes. So, keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't. Hey, everybody out there, you're still tuned to 91.8 The Fan, and I'm pretty sure my guest hasn't fallen asleep on me because I'm so entertaining.
Almost.
Almost. Well, have a Dr. Pepper. Maybe it'll get you energized.
Ew. Prune juice.
No, I love Dr. Pepper. Like it's actually very entertaining. My cousin has been hanging out with me recently, and every time she comes over, she brings 2 cases of Dr. Pepper. And so
Jeez.
now I have like a stockpile of like 12 cases of Dr. Pepper all to myself.
I wish my cousins would bring like Diet Coke over. I would have a nuclear stockpile of Diet Coke and it would be awesome. I could swim in it.
You could build a fort.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be so awesome. Now, for the listeners out there, are there any projects that are coming up or anything that you've recently worked on that you can talk about that you would like them to know about?
Well, as always, there is the Snow Queen, which I got cast in early last year. It's still in distribution limbo, so keep your eye out. It's by a Russian animation company, but it's really pretty. It's got like Pixar-ish quality in terms of the visuals, and obviously, the voice acting is great because I'm in it. Duh. I'm Kai, who's the male damsel in distress, so to speak. And there's a game that came out not too long ago called The Cat Lady. Typecasting, I know, but I'm not actually the cat lady. I'm a nurse in it who drugs the cat lady frequently, so also typecasting. And Cryamore, obviously, I don't know. It's so sad because this year I've been booking a lot, but a lot of it is either like I can't talk about it yet or it's just boring. No one would really care about it. It's like, oh, yay, you got cast in this ESL program that isn't even going to come out in this country.
Or you did an audiobook, or you did a commercial for Peanuts. Like,
Yeah, yeah. You can hear me in a commercial for adult diapers. Yeah. No, you really can't. I
okay,
wish
I
I
was I was about to say
could.
I'm waiting for somebody now on the internet to find that and put that in their chat.
Jeez, that would be awesome though.
But I will say, with those wonderful NDAs, the plus side is that you're getting booked. Sounds like 2013 is being a really nice year.
It's getting better, yeah. I mean, the last couple of years are really hard voice acting wise because in 2011 was mostly dedicated to bringing my husband out to the United States, and that took a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and then 2012 was dedicated to establishing a small business. So, it's a lot of stuff came up, and now I finally have the time to dedicate to voiceover again, and I'm gonna start rebranding and focusing on other stuff and get representation and all that other fun actor milestone stuff that no one cares about.
Well, I will say, with all the horror stories I hear about trying to, get people legally over to the US, it seems like you guys got it done really quickly.
Well, the fiance visa is the quickest way to get it done, and quickest, of course, meaning 8 to 10 months. So, but yeah, it was really funny because I'm a really spiteful, kind of angry person on the inside, and so the U.S. government, the whole process is just so invasive and really ridiculous, and they do it because they want you to prove that, oh, your relationship is legitimate, and you're not faking out the U.S. government or anything, and I understand that, but at the same time, like, if you didn't provide sufficient proof, they could ask questions during the interview, like, when was your fiance's last menstrual cycle? Which to me is pretty stupid because I don't even know when my last menstrual cycle was. You know what I mean?
No, I can understand that. I mean, for some girls, it's like an intuition thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was so spiteful that I was probably a few steps away from just making up like sexy chat logs and sending them over to the U.S. government, being like, here you go, here's all the proof you need. Have fun with that.
As long as they didn't find out that they weren't real.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I drowned them in evidence. I was just like, here's pictures from every single time we even looked at each other, and here's documentation of every gift we ever bought each other, and here's all this fun stuff. And since we both went to a lot of conventions, we had a lot of mutual plane tickets in common, so that helped out too.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that worked out for you. We've heard, as I said, we've heard stories on the show about making that jump,
Mm.
and I've heard things never past really 2 years. So maybe I've just talked with very lucky people, but I hear so many horror stories.
Yeah, yeah. Well, especially like, especially in America because, you have all the kids and everything who come over or their parents bring them over, and they're undocumented and they don't even know.
Yeah, actually, I just read an article about that entire thing.
On Kotaku.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
I don't want to offend anybody. The article was painting the person as, kind of to feel bad for him. But
Sympathetic.
yeah, sympathetic, but I couldn't feel that even when I read the entire thing because I felt like there was a big chunk of his life where he wasn't doing anything for it. Like he wasn't
Yeah.
trying to change anything, he wasn't trying to petition for anything, he was just sitting and waiting.
Yeah, well, it all depends on like what, well, and granted the Obama Dream Act that passed last year really changed the scope of children, like child immigrants and everything. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, if you're in the country already, which obviously he didn't have a choice, it's pretty difficult to get your immigration status changed unless you have a relative already living in the United States. So unless he had a girlfriend he wanted to marry or something, it would have been pretty difficult. But yeah, I don't know. Having gone through the process myself, I have very little sympathy for people who don't do it the right way.
Okay, then I'm glad I'm
Yeah,
not offending anybody, but I'm probably am somewhere.
of
It's
course, yeah. People will always get angry about something. But yeah, it was really funny because the long distance thing actually made me less sympathetic towards people who have been in long distance relationships. Because it's just like, I mean, we had the 9 hour time difference or 8 hour time difference, and I got the short end of that stick because, he could just by the time I woke up, it was like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening for him. And for me it was, 10 o'clock in the morning. So I had to spend like my entire day was just spent talking to him or whatever, whereas he was like, oh, what a lovely evening spent talking to my lady friend, and
with
like I
tea
have,
and crumpets.
yeah, and I have friends trying to compare their situations with mine, and like, there was one person who lived an hour away from their significant other, and they were like, I understand how it feels to be in a long distance relationship, and I'm like, you're in the same time zone, you poop. I'm gonna punch you in the nose.
Well, it's funny. I can't say that I can relate because I've had one long distance relationship, and to be fair, I didn't find the distance thing to be that hard. But I'm not a very physical person, so it depends on the person.
Yeah, I mean, for me, especially like once things started getting more serious, because for us it was either like a 2 day thing or a 3 week thing that we would be seeing each other. So like once it got to the point where the relations, like we were just spending so much time with each other, because I would fly over and visit him for 3 or 4 weeks at a time, or that one time in summer when we went to England, Ireland, and Australia, and I stayed there for like 6 weeks, and it was awesome.
Oh my
But
God, jelly.
yeah, being unemployed had its benefits. Obviously, my career was flourishing, but yeah, being over there for like 6 weeks at a time, and then coming back and talking to him on an instant messenger was just like, are you kidding me? This is a joke, so that's what made it hard, was when it didn't feel like a long distance relationship anymore. It felt like we were just separated.
Well, for the people out there that want to give you support over the internet, over not necessarily over IM because I don't think you want to give that out. Do you do the Twitter and Facebook thing?
I do the Twitter and the Facebook. Yes, I do that. They can follow me at Marianne Miller on Twitter. That's MarianneMiller, or same thing on Facebook, Marianne Miller. Yeah, all that's a fan page. Obviously, I have a personal account, but that's personal.
Don't touch it. It's not for you.
Now
Yeah.
I'll slap you.
I love how threatening this entire interview is.
Yeah, well, it's spanned over some pretty irrelevant topics, I have to say.
It
I'm proud of
has, definitely, but that makes it more entertaining, and I can tell the live chat is enjoying it. So,
it.
for those who are brave enough to see you in real life and ask you for a hug, as in not actually glomp you across the room, because that's not awesome a lot of times. Yeah, is there any, events that you have coming up?
Oh gosh. I'm going to SakuraCon weekend after next, and then hold on, let me get my phone here. We have like 20 conventions booked for this year. Uh SakuraCon and Fanime, Acon, and I don't know if I could announce that one, but those are four that they can see me at so far, and we're updating. YugiOhBridge.com, which is my husband's website, obviously, but that'll hopefully have a more up-to-date convention calendar, and pretty much any convention he goes to, I tag along to, just because he's smelly and I miss him when he's gone. So, or you can follow me on Twitter, and sometimes I remember to say where I'm going.
Always a plus if they can bug you on Twitter and Facebook and ask where you are.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah. And you get lots of cat pictures when you follow me on the Twitter. So
Yay, kitties!
I made a joke that my Twitter is basically like 20% self-promotion and 80% cat pictures. Oh, and somewhere in there is like 5% poop jokes too. So
Perfect. That sounds like the sum of the entire internet.
yeah, pretty much.
And now, since we're nearing the end of this interview, I was wondering if you'd be willing to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition, which you've technically done for us on camera, but never on radio.
Oh crap. What is it? I
Basically,
forgot.
we ask if you could do a radio bump for us.
Okay. I'll do
Ah,
that.
yes. Basically, we ask if you could say, hello, my name is, you insert your name. I do this. You can say you're a voice actor or whatever characters you want to put.
Hmm.
And you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
Oh crap. All right. Hi, my name is Marianne Miller. I'm a voice actor, and you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan.
Look, that wasn't that
Butts.
hard.
You
You
missed the
just,
butts. I said the butts.
well, now you said it 3 times.
Yeah, it has to be included in the bump,
Oh,
in the butts.
if you want to say it serious one more time, feel free.
Okay. Hi, my name is Marianne Miller, and you're tuned in to 91.8, 91 point butts the butts.
Perfect.
Yay! There you go. That's your bump. That's all you get. No more.
I'm great with that. That's fine. It's been so long since we've had a blooper. Thank you so much.
Oh,
I miss the bloopers.
now
Anyway,
you know. Now you know how professional I am.
it's okay because I'm pretty sure you didn't write it down, and most everybody writes it down.
Really?
Yeah, they cheat. They write it down, so when they do it, it's perfect because they're just reading.
Those cheaters. See, I
I
had a cat in my lap and everything. I was all distracted.
So props to you then.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners out there? Words of wisdom, dating advice, what the weather is like tomorrow?
I'm going to Disneyland.
Yay! Are you
I don't,
really?
I don't know. I have an annual pass, so I could.
Well, if you go, have fun because Disneyland is amazing.
It is pretty cool.
Oh my God, I love Disneyland.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys.
And thanks for being on the show today. And for anybody else that missed any of this interview, don't fret. You can find it on the website within the next few days. So keep your eyes peeled to 918thefan.com and your ears tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't.
Yay!